Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Now, who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I have a question for you. How does Jared Anderson stack up against the heavyweight elite? I have four guys in mind: Anthony Joshua, Oleksandr Usyk, Tyson Fury, and Deontay Wilder. Let's see how he stacks up. Really quick, if you like these videos, please take the time right now to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. To those who have recently, I'd like to say thank you and welcome. And if you could also hit that thumbs up button, it really does help and support this channel. Without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to start with the guys who he's more than likely to beat at this moment. Obviously, I'm starting with Anthony Joshua. I think Jared Anderson can beat Anthony Joshua right now. I think he possesses all the skills, all the attributes, all the abilities right now to give Anthony Joshua more than a heartache, also a headache at that. I think he's faster than Anthony Joshua. I think he puts his hands together better than Anthony Joshua. I also think that he mixes it up better than Anthony Joshua. I think the only thing that Anthony Joshua really poses against a Jared Anderson would be power and steamrolling, and it depends on how big Anthony Joshua is going to come into the ring. Now, if we get big, Hercules looking Anthony Joshua, I suppose it would be more of a problem. But Jared Anderson, he moves like a smaller guy. He moves like a cruiserweight. I mean, he's very comfortable. He's very fluid. He's very loose. He's always in his flow. And I see that flow being the main thing that's going to give Anthony Joshua a problem, because Jared Anderson is very creative in there. And the one thing that's going to give Anthony Joshua problems, regardless of who it is, it's going to be somebody who's creative. He needs somebody who's a classic textbook boxer. Either they can be somewhat of a brawler, because he doesn't mind that. He can mix it up pretty well. If you push his back to the wall, he can do that pretty well. But I think Jared Anderson's going to be a little too smart. I think Jared Anderson's going to be a little too slick for Anthony Joshua. I also think that Jared Anderson can change things up on the fly. I think he can just be creative in the moment as well. Meaning he can come in with a game plan, but he can switch it up at any given time in order to best suit who's in front of him. And I don't think Anthony Joshua does that very well. And I think that would give him problems. Like, yeah, Anthony Joshua is a master at following the game plan, but what happens when the game plan doesn't work? I think that would be the biggest problem for Anthony Joshua, especially dealing with somebody as talented as Jared Anderson. So I definitely think that Jared Anderson right now can easily take out Anthony Joshua. Next, it might be surprising, but I have Oleksandr Usyk. I think Usyk is an amazing fighter. I do. I think he's one of the greatest fighters there are right now. It amazes me how people talk about Canelo being like the top of the top, when Usyk has all these belts, and he's a heavyweight, and he came up from cruiserweight. What more do you want this man to do? But I think against Jared Anderson, I think he would meet his match. I think he would meet his match with somebody who's as busy in the ring with him. I think he would meet his match with somebody who's as fast as him. I think he would meet his match with somebody who's also creative like him. I think he would meet his match with somebody who thinks outside the box like him, unorthodox like him. I think he would just meet his match. We all know Oleksandr Usyk doesn't possess the amount of power to get Jared Anderson off his feet. So that's not a threat right there. The only thing that Oleksandr Usyk is going to have is his intelligence, his boxing IQ. But I don't feel like that's going to be enough for somebody like a Jared Anderson, because Jared Anderson, like I said, can fight on the fly. He doesn't have to stick to the game plan. He can go in there and freestyle the whole night. And that's going to be a problem for Oleksandr Usyk. And Jared Anderson hits freaking hard too. And Jared Anderson, contrary to how well he moves in the ring, he's actually a very big guy. Those long arms are going to be a problem, because he could do what Anthony Joshua couldn't do, and that's keep Oleksandr Usyk at bay. And he would probably fight tall. But he's fighting tall, and he has great legs in the ring. Overall, I just don't see Oleksandr Usyk beating Jared Anderson. I think he would give him problems. I definitely think that. I mean, come on. Usyk is extremely decorated. So I definitely think he would give him problems. But I think over the long haul, I can easily see a scenario where Jared Anderson knocks out Oleksandr Usyk. Next on my list, these two are kind of hard, but I'm going to go with Deontay Wilder. Now, Deontay Wilder has been, his last fight, there wasn't a whole lot to tell. We see him with his new trainer, but there's not a whole lot to tell because that last fight happened so quick and it was over with so quick. There's nothing to really decipher from that. He just looked like the Deontay Wilder of old. So there's nothing really to gauge from that last performance. I have seen him on the pads with his new trainer, but Malik Scott. But everybody looks good on pads. Pads aren't fighting you back, so everybody looks good on pads to me. So that doesn't really mean a whole lot. I mean, I like him what I see on those pads. I'm not lying. I like the body shots. I like the doubling up on the jabs. I like the slipping the punches. I like what I see. But that doesn't mean he still has yet to prove that he can do those things in actual Mortal Kombat. And he hasn't done them yet. So I really don't know. Now, it is Deontay Wilder. We have to talk about the equalizer. And yes, he has that. At any given point in the fight, he can knock Jared Anderson's head into the fifth row. So we have to talk about that. And that is always a factor. And Deontay Wilder has proved several times that it doesn't matter if it's the first round or it's the 10th round. That power is still there. It's always lying dormant, and he can always unleash that power at any given time. So he's always a threat. But at the same time, Jared Anderson is a much bigger guy than Deontay Wilder. At the same time, Jared Anderson is faster than Deontay Wilder. At the same time, Jared Anderson has more boxing IQ. Now, yes, Wilder has more fights, but who has more boxing IQ? I'm sorry, it's Jared Anderson. I think the experience of Wilder could save him. And that goes back to my thing with Oleksandr Usyk. But I just don't think it's going to be enough because they haven't fought anybody like him before. And that's the problem. They haven't fought anybody as fluid, as loose, as free-flowing with him as Jared Anderson. And also punching power like Jared Anderson. Now, granted, we haven't seen Jared Anderson's chin get tested yet, so I don't know how he does well under pressure. But I'm still going to have to go with Jared Anderson on this. I think he can beat Deontay Wilder right now. I really do. And I think he is the next great American heavyweight champion on the rise. I do. So, with that being said, last but not least, we have to bring it to the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. I think Jared Anderson is a better boxer than Tyson Fury. And yes, I said that out loud. Yes, I do believe he's a better boxer. I think the best boxer in this entire list, including Jared Anderson, is Oleksandr Usyk. But Tyson Fury is a close second, so I think who's a better boxer? I think Jared Anderson. Like, Tyson Fury does a lot of things, but a lot of his things are like head trippy tricks. Like the feints and all that's more of a head game than anything else. He can box, but he knows how to mix it. Here's the thing with Tyson Fury. He understands his body. And he understands his size, how to utilize his size in the ring. So my question would be, could Jared Anderson stay away from the tricks and get implored into a wrestling match with Tyson Fury, who's probably going to be much bigger than him if they were to actually fight? Well, I think yes, because they have been sparring partners before. So yes, I think Jared Anderson can get through that. But, Tyson Fury comes in 270, 280. I don't know. That's a lot of it's a lot to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And he's throwing punches. That's a lot to deal with. That's more than anybody can deal with. That's a big dude. That's a big dude with good legs, and great cardio. And now we're talking about somebody who can box, because the problem with Oleksandr Usyk was he doesn't have the size to back up what he can do. That's the problem. Now you have Tyson Fury, who has the size to back up his boxing ability. Does he have the same punching power as a Jared Anderson? I don't believe he does. But you put 270 behind a punch, it's darn near going to knock down any wall you put it in front of him. And that's going to be the problem. I think the head games of Tyson Fury would probably do more damage to Jared Anderson, to be honest with you. But in the actual fight, I feel like, honestly, I just kind of feel like it's his time. I really do feel like it's the time for Jared Anderson. I feel like it's time for somebody to be that breakout of the new breed of heavyweights. And I feel like Jared Anderson is that guy. Not to mention he has history boxing and sparring Tyson Fury. So he's used to a lot of things that Tyson Fury would bring to the ring. And I think he's big enough, not to say that he can out-wrestle Tyson Fury, at his biggest size, but I do think he could muscle him or maneuver him off of him, where he can get to safe space, or he can get to free open space where he can go back to boxing. That's what I think. And I think I would favor Jared Anderson at this point in time against Tyson Fury. I think Jared Anderson has all the skills, all the abilities to beat all these guys at this time right now. Now, will he be getting the chance anytime soon? I doubt it. If I was any of them, I wouldn't be looking at him. You're basically running into the Terrence Crawford and the Earl Spence thing, looking at a Jerron Boots Ennis. Why do I have to deal with that at this point in time? I'm going to let Daniel Dubois deal with that problem. I'm not going to deal with that no time soon. I'll let someone else deal with that, but I'm not going to be the one dealing with it. Who knows? But at this point in time, I would highly favor Jared Anderson to beat Anthony Joshua, Oleksandr Usyk, Deontay Wilder, and Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. And that's my video. Tell me what you think. Do you agree? Do you not agree? Drop your thoughts down below. As always, I would love to hear what you have to say. And as always, please like, please share, please subscribe to this channel.